I never know what to say because it's not good morning. It's not good afternoon. It's like noon. I mean, It's noon because, I want to go back to the old Robin Williams movie and, good morning, Vietnam, and anyway.
No, afternoon.
Can we
good
do that?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, we are gonna a great show together, but I gotta get some sympathy from everybody, and it's sad, but good afternoon, Doug Hollinsworth here on the Marc McMain Show, and we are getting closer to that deadline here for Marc, so. Everybody pay attention on what's going on with Marc McMain out there. We wish him all the best. Doug Hollinsworth here at Sweet Tea Travels. Every Friday, except last Friday, we had to go and do something else, but we missed everybody last Friday. But we have a travel show every Friday, and we're excited about today's show. But I got to have some sympathy, okay? I have to have sympathy from Chastity and the listening audience, and it's going to be a fun night, but it's kind of mentally blocking because here we go. Tonight I am going to my old high school for my 50th high school reunion.
50?
Thank you. Yeah, that don't mean you're 50 years old. That's plus 18. Oh, there we go. I just gave it away, didn't
That's
I?
okay. You look 28.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
The check is in the mail. I appreciate that very much. But excited. Marist High School in North Atlanta. It was a lot of fun going out to Marist, and we were a special class. It was at that time all male. No women, no girls were anywhere to be found. We did have cheerleaders. So, female cheerleaders. So, until we were the last all-male class, 1976, and we were bicentennial class, an all-male class. So, it's going to be fun to see a lot of the guys tonight, so excited about that. But, yeah, it does get you kind of thinking that 50, okay, I'm like, okay, well, can you add? Because there's 48, 49, 50, and I'm like, okay, but 50 just kind of hit you. So
it'll be fun.
It will be fun. So how you been? What you been doing?
I've been good. I've been wonderful. But yeah, I think reunions are a lot like weddings. So there's always good food, good fellowship, good times, dancing, singing. So I think you're gonna have a lot of fun tonight.
I hope Doug doesn't do any dancing tonight.
Oh, I would love to see that.
That's for sure. But hey, we're getting our picture on the wall for the half-century picture, that they put in a special place there in the high school. I'm like, okay, whatever here. Well, we got a special show here today, and I'm excited because we have three wonderful people that have traveled down from outside of Nashville, another part of God's country up there near the Hermitage area. Andrew Jackson's old home place, and so that's certainly one of the things. And got to go up there and see that again last fall. Jordan and I were talking about that on the way over here. But we have a family here that is going to talk to us about what they do, and it's very exciting, and I think it's very family oriented and certainly golf oriented. But it is called Golf with Dad, and let me introduce our studio guests, and on the mic, not behind the camera here. We have somebody behind the camera, and we'll talk about her in just a minute. But Jordan and Jeff Johnson, father, son. Jordan is the son, Jeff is the father, and their lovely sister Faith, who is over here filming everything. She's the photographer that goes around, and we're going to talk about what they do, but it's exciting, and I think most people will enjoy it immensely in terms of what they're going to do. Certainly, it is travel. They do a lot of travel. They are down here this week playing some golf and doing some filming, and we'll be able to talk more about that. But I'm going to start off with the patriarch of the family, I would say, here. So let's start off with Dad, Jeff Johnson. And let's talk about the family first. This is a family type ordeal, getting to play golf with your son, and you have your daughter filming, everywhere you go. I think right off the bat, it's just very exciting, and got to be exciting for you, as I've talked about. I've got 4 sons who play golf, and got to play golf with them, play golf with my dad when he was alive, and so it's exciting. But you guys do this and go all over the United States. We've been to Europe, and I'm excited to find out all about this. But let's talk a little bit about the family there. Jeff, tell us a little bit about them.
Well, we are a family of 5, and you mentioned me being the patriarch, but the matriarch, Rebecca, is the visionary, the CEO, and the life breath of this project, because she looked at Jordan and me one day as we were sitting across from each other at a table, and she said, "You two need to travel, play golf, and have fun."
Yes.
And you know what?
What?
We took her at her word. And Faith joined.
She just wanted y'all out of the house for a little while. I'm like, I'm tired.
She saw something that she felt was, she lives by inspiration.
Okay.
She's very intuitive. And so this project, Golf with Dad, which is on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and it's not even a year old yet, but it's about love. It's about family, and it's about sharing our heart and our lives with the people that we meet all around the world. And yes, golf is a part of it. It's the hook. It might get people to watch, but this is an endeavor that is far more than just golf. It's about relationships. It's about caring. And it's about doing what you're inspired to do, what's in your heart to do, knowing that everything will fall into place beautifully. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite sayings that came to me a few months ago, and I've shared this with Jordan and with Faith, when we get up every morning, there's the excitement of possibility. And that's what we live out of every day.
I mean, I would think most people, if they had an opportunity to say, hey, what would you like to do? Well, I like to play golf with my dad, and travel around and do all these things. So I think that's fine. Oh, speaking of the devil, he's here. I didn't realize the representative was in the house, but so that's good to see him in Mr. Marc McMain back there. So anyway, yeah, it's fantastic. It's I'm sure everybody that plays golf. I love playing golf with my dad. My dad and mom taught me how to play golf when I was a youngster, and Dad got back in playing golf at an older age, and we didn't travel around to it. We did play at different golf courses, but had a lot of fun. So this is exciting. Well, tell us a little bit about the 2 people that's in the room here and what they do for you and or with you. I shouldn't say for you, but how about all that works out?
It just so happened that Jordan and Faith were at a place in their lives where they had the freedom to sort of step out of the box a little bit from their current lives and do something that who would have thought? Golf with Dad? That we're going to travel and play golf together, and Faith is going to do her beautiful filming, and she's got such a vision for how things look and how things come across. So Jordan and I play golf on the channel. We are hosted by beautiful golf courses from Scotland to Canada to the United States, and there'll be many more places that we will visit, and we go places that we want to see. We go places that links golf in Scotland is what most people would think of as, yeah, I really want to do that. I want to play golf where golf originated. Well, we did it, and we'll probably go back and do it again because it was just thrilling and exciting and beautiful. 1777, we played a golf course. I think that's about the time that this country was founded.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
250. That's fantastic. Well, I know we're going to talk a little more about travel here in a little bit and where y'all have been, but so golf with Dad. I mean, what's your goal? What do you want to do with this besides being with these 2 great kids?
I don't have a goal. I used to have goals.
I bet you did, and we'll talk about that in a minute, too.
But right now, each day, the value of living fully in the now, in the moment, and watching the beauty unfold. That's what this is about. It's not about, well, how many subscribers or how many people watch or this or that. Everything we do is valuable. Everything we do is important. And sometimes the dominoes are falling and tipping into one another, and you don't even know it yet. But you'll see it at some point in time. And that's how the beauty and the expectation of possibility and the excitement of that possibility drives us every day to just be true to who we are and live in that place where all things are possible. So there's no end game here. We're doing what we love to do today, and we'll continue to do that with Golf with Dad and with every aspect of our lives.
And I'm sure, who knows what tomorrow may bring. You've got a lot of opportunities. I know we've talked about some things, but I'm excited to continue further. All right, let's delve into your past, sir. I think you know how to play golf, and you've played it on a high level, farther more than most people ever. So tell us about your background and trying to be a Scotty Scheffler type person.
Well, I was fortunate enough to have some great opportunities in golf and some great experiences. You know, we're not too far from Athens, Georgia, as we sit here. I went to college in Athens, Ohio, played college golf at Ohio University for 4 years, and then turned professional following my graduation. By the way, I was a radio television major, communications. So it's sort of back in my
there you go.
And by the way, speaking of the excitement of possibilities, I didn't know I was going to be on the radio with Golf with Dad. So that's another type of thing that happens.
There
that
you go.
Have
that
no
next day.
Idea.
Yeah.
So then I turned pro, got my PGA Class A membership in the PGA of America, and my goal at that point in time was to play the PGA Tour, and I had that in mind. So every winter, when I wasn't working at a club pro job up north, I would go to Florida and play mini tour events and club pro events. That's where I met my wife, Rebecca, in West Palm Beach, Florida. All our kids were born in West Palm Beach. I was married in West Palm Beach. And fortunately enough, as a college golfer, I played in a U.S. amateur golf tournament, and U.S. National Public Links tournament. And after turning pro and after being married, and we were pregnant with our first child, Sarah, who is listening right now in Cardiff, Wales, as we speak. She's on tour with a group called Pentatonics.
I was going to say, let's plug the group there. It's one of my wife's favorite groups.
And I qualified for the PGA Tour's Honda Classic event. And my wife, Rebecca, caddied for me, and we were pregnant with our first child.
How about that? That's the story just in its own right, isn't it?
Jack Nicklaus played in that event, and many of the big names that people
would know. I've never been to the. I've been to the place where they hold it, or they used to hold it anyway.
Yep.
Down in Florida, beautiful things. Well, that's exciting just to be able to play in a PGA Tour event. I played in PGA Tour Pro-Ams.
Yeah. Well, that was a thrill for me, for sure, to hit balls next to Jack Nicklaus on the driving range. And but Rebecca said that she has bragging rights over me and that she's caddied in a PGA Tour event, and I never have. Because I was the one playing in the PGA
And the caddies know it. They're the ones that tell the pro. Pros just swing.
Yeah.
That's all they have to do, swing. Caddies, they picking up the club, they raking the bunkers, they picking up the divot. They're saying, okay, here's a 7-iron, I'm making just a light swing. So they do all the work.
Yeah.
Pros, they don't have much to do.
So that was a great week. And since then, we've done a lot of traveling as a family. When I was playing golf throughout the southeastern part of the United States, up in the Dakotas, different things like that. We pulled a 35-foot travel trailer behind a Chevy Suburban when the kids were small, and I played full-time golf, but I didn't want to do it without the family. I didn't get married and start having children to then go off and play golf, so
Sure.
we did it together.
Wow.
And they were what you would call homeschooled. We called it life training, and everywhere we went was a learning experience for them. From the Grand Canyon to Niagara Falls to New York City, they met people from all walks of life, and they had a most amazing upbringing because they got to see things up close and personal. And nothing against reading it in a book, but they got to see it rather than read about it.
Well, that is fantastic. Hey, we're talking to three people that we will get on the radio before we're finished here. We have the Golf with Dad crowd here. Jeff Jordan and Faith Johnson from Hermitage, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. And we're going to talk to them more about their travel plans, what they've been doing. So, Doug Hollingsworth here, Sweet Tea Travels, every Friday. Make sure you tell everybody we got a great travel show every week. Next week, we got exciting. I'll tell you more about it before we leave. My lovely wife, Judy, will be back in the studio to talk to us about some of that, too, coming up next week. But we hope everybody's had a great week. And this is the Marc McMain Show, and be right back.
Writing on a legal pad, and the man next to me struck up a conversation. "Are you an author?" he asked. I said, "No, I'm actually a preacher." Well, the look on his face was priceless. How would you feel if you're stuck sitting next to a preacher for several hours? Surprisingly, though, we had a good conversation. He asked me several questions about Jesus, and I told him that the Bible says if Jesus didn't rise from the dead, Christianity is worthless. Ever thought about that? You see, the truthfulness of Christianity hinges on whether Jesus died and rose from the grave. There's great evidence for it, and I'm one of the billions of Christians around the globe who believes that the resurrection really happened. If Jesus did conquer death, then he's worthy of your trust. If he didn't, reject him because he's a fraud. I believe he really conquered death. What do you believe? This is Brian Wright, speaking right from my heart.
For devotions, visit rightfromtheheart.org.
I'm Marc McMain, Republican for State Senate, and I approve this message.
Hi, this is former Congressman Jody Heiss. I know what it's like to stand up to the radical left, and I trust Marc McMain to do the same thing in the state Senate. I've watched Marc lead when he served as GOP chairman. He didn't just sit on the sidelines. He helped Republicans, including President Trump, win Georgia. So join me in keeping the main thing the McMain thing. Vote for Marc McMain on May 19th. Paid for by Mark for Georgia Incorporated.
As spring blooms, so does engagement season. At P&A Jewelers, voted the area's best jeweler and jewelry store, and celebrating 50 years, we offer a beautiful selection of engagement rings. Let us custom create exactly what your heart desires. Visit us in person next to Quick Trip in Loganville or online at shoppajewelers.com. P&A Jewelers, where your forever begins.
Hey, good afternoon. Doug Hollingsworth here, the Marc McMain Show, 12 to 1 every Friday, except not right now. He's kind of on hiatus, and he's doing his thing. We're excited for Marc and what he's got going on. Hey, we want to remind everybody about the Georgia State Parks Golf Cup. We are actually headed over to the creek at Hard Labor. When we get through here, it's a tournament tomorrow. It's a state parks at all their golf courses throughout the spring. You can check it out at gastateparks.org/golf cup. Find out more information. If you'd like to play, it's a twosome, and I think you have a lot of fun. It's sponsored by Bridgestone Golf, which is right down the road here in Covington, Georgia, so we appreciate them and all the help they're doing. But tomorrow is the Creek Golf Course, and we have the Golf with Dad team is going to be playing in it, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. The next event's up at Highland Walk Golf Course in Victoria Bryant State Park in Royston. And Dad, you want to do your little trivia question, or you think it now since I mentioned that town, why don't you go ahead and do it?
Well, as we were driving through Royston 2 days ago, and I grew up in Detroit, little hint there, but
we feel sorry for you down here in the South. That's all we're going to say to that.
I'm moving on. As we were driving through Royston, never been to Royston, but we see a big sign, and then we see museum and different things. The home of, you want me to say it?
If you're doing a trivia question, so it's your world.
One of the greatest baseball players of all time. Here's the hint. He played around the turn of the century, and he played in Detroit, and he was known for coming into the bases with his spikes raised, so that when he was stealing second or stealing third or stealing home, which they did back in the day, the person catching the ball to try to tag him out was afraid to get their hand and their glove down in front of him because they knew that their spikes on Ty Cobb's shoes
there we go.
were going to put a little hurt on their arm.
Yeah,
Ty
good.
Cobb,
Ty
Royston,
Cobb,
Georgia.
Royston, Georgia. That's exciting. All right, let's delve further in here. Golf with Dad, a great program that you guys have came up with last year as you travel around, and Jordan and Jeff Johnson, they play golf and they get out and they film it. Faith, their sister and daughter, films everything they do. It's exciting. We're certainly going to talk about the YouTube channels, Instagram, TikTok. We will let people know how to find out more information. It's a lot of fun to watch, and they certainly play in some places that we all would like to play, and certainly going to continue. And so they've been playing a couple of state parks this week, and then playing over here at the Creek at Hard Labor tomorrow morning. So we're excited about them being in Georgia. But let's bring Jordan in here and talk to him about what do you think? Why do this?
I think it's like Dad said, it was just the perfect timing for everyone involved, really. Dad had just gotten done running travel luxury pro-ams for about 15 years out west. That was something that I got to go and experience with him, and I was thinking about maybe doing something like that myself, trying to maybe start something, and had maybe some interest from a couple of people, and wanted to pick Dad's brain about it, and went over, and that was the day that we were talking about it, and Mom kind of saw us talking about it, and I think at one point I said, you know what, if I'm going to do something in golf, I want to do it with Dad. And that's when she poked her head around the corner and said, you guys need a YouTube channel.
That's cool. That's a great way to do it. So tell us about Golf with Dad, so our listening audience will know a little more about how it works, what you do. You've told me all the long hours you have to do to edit and put all this stuff together, and it's not like you just do it on your phone and send it off real quick.
Yeah. It's this is we consider them episodes. We don't consider these just things where we're putting the phone up and saying, "What's up, guys?" There's we've got 2 different drones, we got GoPros, we've got microphones, we've got a handheld camera. We're doing things from multiple angles and really having to edit and cut these things together in a cohesive way that is much more like maybe some of the other, for anyone who watches YouTube golf, if they've ever watched Good Golf or Grant Horvat or anything like that, the Bryan brothers, Bryson DeChambeau, those are the templates that we try to follow in terms of how to put something together for the most viewing pleasure, to make the golf course look good. And it is a lot about the relationship I have with my dad. He's always been my best friend, and the choices he made throughout our childhood, putting his golf either on the side or incorporating us in his golf life. As I get older, I just appreciate it more and more, what he did. And so for me to be able to do this with him right now, I think is a great way for me to not necessarily pay him back, but it's just really come full circle. And it's something where now it certainly is about golf, and I love playing golf, and I love playing golf with Dad. But I really want to make this a FOMO YouTube channel, right? I want to go to places and I want people to say, man, that number one, that's beautiful. Number two, they look like they're having such a great time. I wish I was there.
It's a great lead into many places that y'all have been and done. And so before we get into that, do you have a special favorite place that maybe you've been to and with golfing with Dad, or maybe just in golf in general that maybe somebody would like to know more about and want to go to play golf?
What's been great so far is, before the channel, I'd played a decent amount of golf in my life, and you have your favorites, but this channel has definitely shook up that list for me a little bit as to where I thought I liked before. And this is going to sound old hat, but honestly, after going to Scotland and experiencing what they've got over there and how much pride they have in their courses and how thrilled they are to share it with you. They really want you to be there. They want to know what you thought of the course when you come off the course. And they'll buy you a pint of Guinness, and they want to hear what you thought about their course, and that's what they call it. So to me, the buy-in that just the general population over there has, Dad, right? And just the people who walk around the town, their identity is usually over there. It's their course. It's their soccer teams, right? Their football teams, and it's their course.
Yeah.
And if you can talk to them about those things, you'll never have to buy a drink when you're over there.
That's fantastic. All right, so it's a travel show. Let's talk a little bit about travel. So let's just continue on with your trip over to the old country and the old course there. Actually, my oldest has gotten to go over there. Dad has not been able to go over there yet. Would love to go. So next time y'all plan a trip, let me know, and I'll tag along and do something. We'll figure it out. But would love to go. If nothing else, it's just beautiful over there. I mean, a lot of people think about going to Scotland, Ireland, Wales, all that over there. It's just absolutely beautiful. They should go. I've got people that play 5 and 6 days in a row, and I'm like, there's no way this guy can play 2 days in a row, much less 5 or 6. But it's great. Tell us a little bit about the trip that y'all did here, last year over in Scotland.
Yeah, we. On the channel, we didn't play anything this time in St. Andrews, although we've gone over outside of the channel and played St. Andrews. So for anyone watching our content, what we tried to do was we tried to find some hidden gems of places that you're not going to see 10 tour buses full of people pulling up for tee times constantly throughout the day. You're going to see locals, and you're going to play those golf courses like the locals do. And maybe these courses don't get as much love as, say, somewhere in Carnoustie or somewhere around St. Andrews or something like that. But personally, I was shocked at how good the golf courses were. And we kind of just, I think, what did we fly into Glasgow? We did Glasgow, rented a car. It's a little scary driving over there. I'm not going to lie. It's they're coming at you, and if you're in the passenger seat, I don't know. I had to bring an extra pair of undies.
They got it all wrong over there. They on this other side, and the driver's side. And I'm like, no.
Well,
people.
Dad was hugging the line, and I'm on that side, and it's like we're about to hit the hedge. They got these hedges over there.
Let me just say that I had never driven on the right side of the car and on the right side of the road.
Yeah.
But in order to make the trip to the Hidden Gems golf courses up and down the coastline, we couldn't take the trains because the trains wouldn't get us to the golf courses. So we would still be beset with, we get to a town, we're in the train station.
And you're still 5 miles away from where you need to be.
To get to a golf course. So,
and they don't, a lot of these places don't have Uber as readily as they have it over here. So you got to get your own car.
We planned this whole trip ourselves. Doug, this is an interesting thing. This can be done. I had no angst with tour companies, but we wanted to do it our way. And to do it our way, we had to rent a car. We had to book our own Airbnbs, our own hotels. And we had more golf courses that invited us to come than we could actually play.
Yeah, that was nuts.
So we built our itinerary from north to south, to circle back to Glasgow
and along the East Coast too, right? We stuck to the East Coast, so
yep,
that's what we can speak to for sure.
And we did it. We drove over 1,000 miles in that car driving on the right hand
side.
What
time of the year?
It was July and early August.
Okay.
So that's their sweet spot when it comes to weather.
Weather, I was thinking that's a good time for people to come over and to plan their trip to go over Scotland.
If folks watch our Scotland videos,
there we go. Okay, time out.
I had a stocking cap on.
Time out right there. Plug it. Where do we go look for something like that?
Yeah, so if you go onto YouTube and you search Golf with Dad, and we have an exclamation mark after Dad, so Golf with Dad exclamation mark. I think we've been up long enough to where we pop up pretty readily if you just type that into your YouTube search.
Okay.
And once you're on our channel, we have a playlist specifically called the Scotland series, and I strongly suggest, if nothing else, start with that. Watch that. You'll get to know us, but you'll also, that speaks to kind of that FOMO, like that whole trip. It made it so easy to make compelling videos because it was just so beautiful. But it was also really windy, really difficult.
Yeah, but you two guys are good. I've already heard about it. I haven't seen you play other than on video, but you two guys are good. So, we're not worried about the wind.
We were fighting tooth and nail to keep the ball on the ground and as close to the hole as we could.
We were also, Doug, trying to keep the drone from landing in the North Sea.
I almost lost a drone a couple times.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
So y'all got the whole package. You play golf, which we're going to talk about in the next segment in terms of you kind of maybe teaching a little bit some of the ways to hit this and hit this, what we do, this how we do it, and which we'll go into a little more. But we want to certainly talk about some other places when we get back here, about other places. I mean, Niagara Falls, there we go. I like that. Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee. That's a lot of golf. So that's fun. You can talk about Georgia now more to other people. So we're excited about that. We
absolutely
look forward to having you back. But we have the family of the Johnsons, Jordan, Jeff, and Faith, who's over here filming, and she's doing a great job. She looks so steady with the camera there, and this big heavy camera she's got on her shoulders, and she's doing a great job. The Johnsons, Golf with Dad is who we're talking to. It's fantastic. It's great, family oriented. Certainly tell your favorite golfer or anybody if they're looking for travel. We're going to talk more about that. It's the Marc McMain Show. Doug Hollingsworth here, Sweet Tea Travels, and we'll be right back.
When looking for new shoes, the place to check out is K&D Shoes in Conyers. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, offering one of the largest selection of shoes for men, women, and for the kids. From name brands like Ariat, Rocky, Georgia Boot, Hey Dude, and others. You'll find everything from casual to work boots all under one roof. Be sure to see their great selection of outerwear from name brands like Carhartt, Ariat, and more. Need athletic shoes? Then see their great selection from brands like New Balance, Brooks, Reebok, Hoka, and more. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's K&D Shoes, 2250 Dogwood Drive in Conyers. Call 770-483-9037. Or to learn more and see their great selection, go to kndshoes.com.
Are you looking for new tires? Well, look no further than Madison Car Care. They have the largest selection and you'll always get the best price. They also handle a wide range of auto repairs, from the small things like oil changes and wiper blades to the big things like suspension, parts, and radiators. They offer all kinds of accessories, from toolboxes to bed covers, side steps, and they even install those awesome ranch hand bush guards. Give them a call at 706-342-4774 or stop by at 1040 Confederate Road in Madison.
When you walk through the doors of Campton Restaurant, you're not just here for a meal, you're part of a tradition. I'm fourth generation owner Josh Parker, and for nearly 40 years, families in Walton County and surrounding areas have gathered around our tables to share stories, laughter, and good Southern cooking. From crispy fried chicken to heart-healthy daily specials, there's always a plate waiting with your name on it. We're open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays. So come on by, make yourself at home, and experience Campton Restaurant, where family tradition meets every meal.
Hey, we're back here on the Marc McMain Show. Doug Hollingsworth, your host every Friday. Sweet Tea Travels, travel show that we want you to understand more things about where to go, what to do, things you're looking forward to do as a couple or as a family, friends, whatever. We don't just stay here in Georgia. We're actually over in Scotland today, and part of what our stuff here, we're going to swing it back over and come back over to the United States here. But we're with the family of the Johnsons, who is Faith, Jordan, and Jeff Johnson, who live outside of Nashville, and they have a wonderful new YouTube channel called Golf with Dad, and it's just fantastic, and it's pretty much what it says, Golf with Dad. And who wouldn't love just to travel and golf with Dad? So that's kind of special. I would love to be able to still do that with my dad. Not so much travel, we wouldn't do that, but just to play golf. So, well, we're talking a little bit about travel in terms of what you guys have done. So either one of you chime in terms of, we can't talk about every state or whatever, maybe some of your favorites that you've done here in the States and or Niagara Falls that you mentioned. So we'd love to hear about that, and how maybe some of our listeners might like a weekend here or a week trip, or, hey, yeah, they got great golf, but they also have family stuff. So y'all let me know what's some of your favorite stuff.
Yeah, I mean, going up to Niagara Falls was actually one of the first trips that we took on the channel, one of the first times we actually filmed. And they have a great track of city-run courses in the Niagara area. So the Niagara Parks, I believe, is the organization. So easy to remember. And we played a bunch of really great golf courses there. And I think one of them was at an Alistair McKenzie design. Is that correct? Called Whirlpool.
I know that name.
Yeah, and that one stuck out to me big time. I really enjoyed that golf course. I thought it was beautiful. We went just in the perfect time of year. They were just coming into summer. That was a great one. And up until now, I really thought that, of the kind of state-run or municipal-run golf courses, it was going to be tough to beat Niagara. But just in the few days that we've been here so far with the Georgia State Parks and the golf courses connected with them, I just thought that they were really giving Canada a run for their money, at least the ones that we saw in Canada. These courses are very, very true to the area, and they feel very Augusta, wide fairways, a lot of slope, big greens with a lot of slope, great sand. Like, everything's growing in really nicely here. It's been a real treat. I didn't quite know what to expect, but this has been great. We do call these courses you're mentioning here with Georgia State Parks. Certainly go to gastateparks.org, find out more information about our great state parks here in Georgia. But we call the golf courses hidden gems. 100%. Because you've mentioned two of them, or you've been to two of them this week. They're not easy to find. You have to kind of pack your bags and take off up to Royston and Elberton and down here to Rutledge, Georgia, where you're going to be going this afternoon. So it's, what? Sometimes that buy-in that you have to kind of almost go off grid is kind of just adds to the whole experience of being there. A little bit detached. I lost cell phone service on the golf course yesterday, and that was kind of cool. I had no distraction whatsoever, and I was just there. And it's so quiet out there because there's nothing out there. No homes on the courses. So all you hear is bird sounds. And so you hear bird sounds, and then if you catch one really good and you're back in one of the hollers, with trees all around you, you hear this great impact sound, like coming off the club face, just this crack. And if you didn't feel like a man before, you'll feel like a man after that. That's great. Hey, I know one thing that we all, as a golfer, love to do, and golfers, as I've mentioned to you guys before, they love to do a few things. They love to play golf, they love to drink, and they love to eat. So how about tell us some of your special spots that you've been back across the pond, it's fine, or locally, or anywhere, that, again, might be a fun, because I know we do a lot of different things here on the show and talk about food and places people like to go here in Georgia or in Boston. We talked about it, or Washington D.C. a while back. So tell us, it's always fun to talk about food. Yeah, a lot of times when you're traveling, you're on the golf course, you try to get an early tee time, you're out there playing. And then by the time you get off the golf course, you pretty much just want something that's either at the grill or something that's on the way back to the hotel. But occasionally there's some things where you end up going to these places and they actually maybe outshine the golf that you even played. And in one case, we had to go back to Scotland because we visited Scotland before we had the channel, went to this little town. I'm going to kick it to you, Dad, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. I do. But we went back to this town and ended up playing a golf course that was established in this town that we didn't even know about, only and solely because we wanted to go back to this restaurant. So why don't you tell them where that was? Just north of St. Andrews, Scotland, there's a little town on the North Sea called Anstruther. And it's just the quaintest town. And when we were eating at a restaurant in St. Andrews called the Tail End, which is a great seafood restaurant in St. Andrews, our server said, I live in Anstruther. Get on the bus on Saturday, take it about 20 minutes up the road, and you'll love this town. And it's a little fishing village. It's just there's not much there. No, but it's amazing. We didn't know it at the time. They have a 9-hole golf course that's been there since 1900. Wow. But we did know about this we ran into this little brickish type, old cottagey type. Yeah, it had tavern. A door with like these engravings, this wood engraving door, and you walk in and the ceilings are only about 6.5 feet high. So you feel like you're walking into some kind of Hobbit like kind of world or something like
and
that.
And it's called the Dreel, Dreel Tavern, the Dreel Tavern. And we sat down, and this was a trip that my wife Rebecca and Jordan and I took prior to the Golf with Dad. And we ordered like one of everything on the menu.
Everything looks so good.
Incredible.
Wow.
And when we came back with Faith, Jordan and I, Golf with Dad last year, we specifically had to go to Anstruther because we wanted to go back to the Dreel Tavern.
Whether we got a tea time at that course or not, we were going back.
What was it? Did it have anything to do with the donuts?
Oh, well, the St. Andrews fudge donuts.
Fishers and Donaldsons.
Fisher and Donaldson.
Fisher and Donaldson. Since
unbelievable.
1919.
Yeah, those are. Go ahead, Jordan.
I'm taking this one. So we played the old course, and I don't know, it was hole 13 or 14. We're waiting for the fairway to clear, and all of a sudden I hear one of our caddies talking about these fudge donuts, and I'm like, oh, are they like a big chunk of chocolate? I don't know what they are. And he said, well, you got to go get one. It's downtown, like St. Andrews has a downtown. It's all just beautiful little quaint country. But he said it's at Fisher and Donaldson's, and we went in the next day. And I'll tell you what, I mean, you guys, you got to Google this, Fisher's and Donaldson's fudge donut. It's like a butterscotch kind of frosted top, big square donut. And they fill this thing with custard that can stand up all on its own. I mean, you bite into it, it does not ooze out. It just sits right there, and it's just like a brick of custard and butterscotch and fresh baked pastry. And you just, I mean, I ate like 3 or 4 of them.
Can we order this online and Amazon bring it to us real quick?
Hey, Bezos, listen up. Hey, we need a fudge donut right now.
We need a fudge donut. Get your flame working. We will order enough for everybody. So that sounds fantastic. I know y'all mentioned something else called pigs.
Yeah.
Is this like barbecue?
That's in Edinburgh.
Jordan's favorite city.
Yeah. So Edinburgh is one of my top 2 or 3 cities for sure. And I also like Spanish tapas. So there's this great Spanish tapas place just off the Royal Mile in Edinburgh called Pigs.
P-I-G-G-S.
P-I-G-G-S, yeah.
And it's legit. They're from Spain.
They're from Spain.
Like a knockoff.
Unbelievable slow cooked pulled pork. It made me tear up. They sweat, caramelized onions in with this thing, and you just eat it. And I literally came to tears one time. I honestly, truly did.
And I came to tears with the olive tray.
Oh, they've got the best olives.
Olives, really? No. I like not black olives. I'm not eating any black olives.
These are green olives.
Take those things off my pizza. I am not having no black olives.
You've not had an olive like
my
this.
My salivary glands are salivating about those olives.
That's funny. How about the United States? What's your favorite place that y'all been to here in the United States?
Wow.
Let me just say that when we were back home in West Palm Beach, we went to
some Cuban food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Called Havana. And it was right down the street from the golf course we played. And, of course, remember, the kids were all born there. I was married there. We lived there for over 10 years.
Yeah.
But if you want a great Cuban coffee and some great Cuban food, Havana is it's been there forever. It's like, some of the best places look like little hole in the wall sort of thing. And this is nice, but it doesn't look like it's bright and shiny or anything. It fits right in with the neighborhood.
And it's been there for like 50 years. That's how you know it's good.
You can get takeaway, or you can go in and sit down. And we had dinner after our round of golf, and it was fabulous.
I will say, if you can't get to Havana's for any reason and you're just passing by any kind of place on the street that's called Pollo Tropical, it's like it's fast food, but it's just the best grilled chicken. They marinate it in all kinds of citrus and all that stuff, and you get like a tub of black beans, a tub of rice, some plantains, and like half a chicken. Oh, it's the best.
It's so
the
South
best
Florida.
Fast food you can get in South Florida, Pollo Tropical.
That's great.
For sure. If you're ever down there playing golf, do yourself a favor.
I guess we played golf down there in South Florida?
That was our last trip.
We did.
Right before Georgia. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
South Florida is huge. So what part of South Florida?
We were in West Palm Beach.
Okay, West Palm.
Jupiter, which is, most of the PGA Tour players now live in the Jupiter area. We played a great course called Abacoa there. And in West Palm Beach, we played a course that has been gentrified from what used to be an 18-hole golf course called West Palm Beach Country Club, which was which was public and owned by the city of West Palm Beach. I played there when we lived there. It fell into disrepair. It lay fallow for years. And before it went under development to a condo, a couple of golf pros saw the land and said this would be a beautiful place to do something different and give back to the community. So the great architect Gil Hance donated his services with his design team, came in and routed and designed a new golf course, and the city of West Palm Beach has now created something called The Park. And it's 18 holes of full golf. It's a short course, it's a putting course, it's a driving range, it's a restaurant, and it's a place where children can come from the community and get trained educationally and with golf skills, combining things that can cause kids to learn the proper etiquette that golfers would know, having to play a game of honor.
And right down the street from Havana, so
Yes.
that's
there we go. We're going back to the food there.
That's right.
All right, we are the Marc McMain Show here today on this beautiful April 24th, 12:45. Doug Hollingsworth here with you. We got another segment here with the guys with Golf with Dad. We'll be right back.
Affordable housing is just around the corner at Cimarron Park. Cimarron Park is a mobile community located on Harry Arnold Road, just off of Highway 78 in Monroe, that offers 2- and 3-bedroom homes with spacious wooded lots, lit streets, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Some homes are for sale with available financing. Call James for all the details. 404-401-1068. That's 404-401-1068. Or go to CimarronPark.com.
Hey, this is that Rick Jackson spot.
Too often, criminal illegals commit sick, violent crimes. Do that when I'm governor, and you'll end up deported or departed.
Dang. I know, right?
What do you have, sugar?
I'll take the meatloaf and Rick Jackson for governor.
He's something, ain't he?
He's tough. Yeah, no tolerance for criminal illegals, no DEI.
No covering up for do-nothing career politicians either.
You know, Jackson came from nothing and built one of the biggest businesses in Georgia. Now he wants to cut the income tax in half and freeze property taxes. Yeah, but not for deadbeats.
Listen, I love this part.
No more free rides for people who refuse to work. You want to sit on your butt, binge watch Netflix, and scarf down Cheetos? Do it with your own money.
Be still my heart.
Bingo. Amen to that.
Rick Jackson for Georgia, not a career politician. Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
Are you considering selling your house or land, or perhaps finding your dream home? Call Stacy McCullers, your trusted real estate expert with 12 years of experience and a lifelong connection to Walton County. Stacy is here to help you every step of the way. Whether you're buying or selling, she's available anytime to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. Don't wait. Call today, 678-859-6336. A member of Malcolm & Malcolm Realty Professionals, Stacy McCullers, your realtor for life.
Hey, welcome, WMOQ. Doug Hollingsworth sitting in here for the Marc McMain Show. We appreciate Mark allowing us to come in and fill his spot these few weeks while he's out doing his thing. And we wish him all the best. So make sure you can't miss him. He's everywhere. Signs, TV, radio, he's everywhere. So it's Marc McMain there. Anyway, Doug Hollingsworth here every Friday on the Sweet Tea Travels, talking travel every week. We got some special guests in the studio. We've been talking about a very heartfelt, warm thing, especially to me, especially if you have kids and people who you love and want to be a part of. This family, Faith Jordan and Jeff Johnson, are outside Nashville, and they came up with this great, whatever you want to call this thing, just a program, a life situation, whatever, but to play golf with
Adventure.
Dad. Adventure, that's a good one. And they film it, and they put it, have a YouTube channel, golf_with_dad, and they're on YouTube, Instagram and TikTok, so make sure you check them out. All right, we want to talk about what you do on the course, in terms of how it works. So what are we looking for? You're going to teach me to be a little better golfer if I watch you?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, we have a couple of different mediums that we try to impart some of the wisdom, since Dad's been a pro, since 1980, I think, is when he turned pro. So things that I kind of take for granted because I just grew up with them, you kind of realize that not everybody knows these things. So what we try to do is we try to really talk through what we're thinking about, what the circumstances of each shot are, what the wind is doing, what the lie is doing, what the club is, where the pin is, why we're taking what club we're taking. We get into that a decent amount, not every shot. We're not trying to be too dry, but and then we'll do some swing analysis, and we'll do some tips and tricks and stuff on our short form stuff like our Instagram and TikTok, where we'll put out little 10, 15, 20-second videos where you can just work on a drill, that we think is going to help you. So yeah, there's a good mix of just being situationally aware of how to play golf based on your surroundings, based on what kind of lie, where the ball is, and kind of mitigating big numbers, mitigating missing the ball, too badly one way or the other. Being able to find your ball and hit it again is really key to shooting decent scores in golf. So a lot of that is what you'll see on the long form stuff for sure.
But not if you're playing a Bridgestone golf ball.
Well, this is true.
See, if you play with a Bridgestone golf ball, one, you never lose it. And two, if you do, just call Doug. He'll get you some more.
We've got a hookup now. Yeah,
you got a hookup now.
Yeah. Well, Dad had a great experience with a Bridgestone ball on our last filming down in Florida, which is coming out in a couple of weeks. So
actually, that episode will be out on Monday.
Oh wow,
that is out. It's
there
out on Monday.
There we go. You're
going to give a spoiler alert, or do you want to?
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Okay.
But I lost my voice. I went soprano for a second.
And you lifted me up like we'd won the Super Bowl.
Hey, no spoilers now.
Oh, okay.
I think the soprano thing is different.
Let's go back to Ty Cobb, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's Royston, Georgia, Ty Cobb, Spikes, Detroit, whatever. There we go.
But Monday morning,
okay,
you'll see it.
That's, it's a lot of fun. I think golfers and anybody who just interested in the game, certainly kids, and I've got a grandson who plays, and all four of my guys play, sons play, so it's cool. Go check them out. Why don't you let's plug the YouTube channel again, how everybody can find everything on Instagram, everything.
Yeah, so on YouTube, if you just type in Golf with Dad with an exclamation mark after Dad, so it's Golf with Dad exclamation mark, you'll see us pop up. We're popping up pretty good now. It's been about a year since we've started the channel, so we're appearing pretty good. And then if you type in Golf with Dad on Instagram or TikTok, we've got links that should link everything in our social portfolio to each other. So if you find any of our channels, it'll lead you to the other channels.
And Golf with Dad Shorts is our newest YouTube channel.
Yeah, I saw that. What's that about?
That's a lot of when we want to share some thoughts with with our viewers, maybe a swing tip. Also, we're going to show places we've been, behind the scenes, maybe cabin that we stayed in up at when we played Arrowhead Point the other day.
Food. Yeah.
So the things that are not golf course related when we're actually playing a match on the course, that's what'll happen in our short form.
I love that. That's things what we would love to know about, and certainly want to hear from you guys as you continue to move on. So let's talk about the future. What's in the near future for Golf with Dad? Are we going to get to go down here and play this little course down in Augusta, or they invited you to play down there yet, or anywhere? Do you need my help? Get on down there. I was things to say. No, I do not.
I would. You know what? I'd settle for caddying, taking a caddy loop.
I understand.
There. That would be great. But
I've had a lot of friends play it, but I've never. I almost had the opportunity to play Augusta National, but it never worked out. So that would be fun there. So y'all ever played TPC Sawgrass?
Dad, have you played there?
No, I have not.
I have not either. No, not yet.
You guys, that's got to be on the bucket list. That is.
I think probably Muirfield Village, Jack's course in Columbus, Ohio. That's where I qualified for the U.S. Amateur when I was in college, and the course had just opened. That's one of the greatest courses that I've played in the United States. Plus, living in the North, there's so many golf courses that are those golden age courses built by the Donald Rosses of the world in the 20s and the 30s. I got got my fill of a lot of those. Not my fill, but I mean, I was.
I was about to say,
those.
don't get your fill yet.
No,
I'd like to go.
Ready to go back
Yeah.
there?
Right.
Sure.
As far as what is coming in the future, I think, when you go on these trips and you meet people and they tell you about some of their own golf experiences, you build up this network of. It's almost like a golf family, and so you can reach out to them and say, hey, where was that place you were saying? We were on 13 and you mentioned this one place. Where was it?
That's a good point.
And a couple of those places, there's actually a part of Turkey along the coastline, and they call it the Turkish Riviera, and apparently the golf there is amazing. So I'd like to go there. I think that'd be awesome. I don't think anyone's ever thinking about playing golf in Turkey. I think that'd be a great kind of hidden gem.
That's fantastic idea.
And then maybe, head south, go down to Buenos Aires and do a little golf in Argentina, I think. Eat a couple of steaks, have some Malbec, and just play some golf. I think that'd be fun, too.
That sounds
with
like
the gauchos.
There you go. That'd be fun. One area we're going to send you guys to, because I'm going to make it happen, is what we're going to be talking about next week over in Williamsburg, Virginia, the Golden Horseshoe. And it is my favorite course, okay? And it's just absolutely, it's part of Colonial Williamsburg, but they have two courses there. Then they have a little par 3 called the Shoe, but it's the Golden Horseshoe.
Fabulous.
It's fantastic, but it's great. It's Jamestown, Yorktown, all that. And we're going to be talking about that again next week. But
I'd love to do that.
You would.
That sounds great.
The Gold Course is just fantastic, and it's a lot of fun. So I can't say any more about that. But we will definitely get you guys over there, and certainly we want to know when these videos that y'all are doing this week. We want to know when they are up and going. So make sure you let us know, and I'll make sure we plug it here on the radio and let people know. And
well, as soon as we get back to Nashville,
they're
Jordan,
at the top of the list, Doug.
Top
of the list. Top of the editing
but you
list,
told me on the way over here, it takes you like 200 hours to get one thing done. I mean,
it's a lot of man hours to make these things happen.
Yeah, so I've seen your work. It's great. I mean, you really do a great job, and I appreciate that. And we need to get you with my wife. She's starting a new video podcast on her. I showed y'all her website there that she put out last week about the Dillard house that we went up to, and so we were excited about that. We want to say thank you, guys. I appreciate, and Faith, I appreciate you coming, playing here in Georgia. Can't wait to see the videos. We're going to have you back down to Georgia. There's a lot of great golf here in Georgia. We got to get you down to the coast. We can have a lot of fun down there on the Georgia coast, and get you in some pirate uniforms, and play some golf down there on Blackbeard's Island.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dad looks great in guy liner, and get him.
Where's the rum?
That's right.
Where's the rum?
That's right.
So,
that'd be great. I would love that.
So that'd be fun.
Doug, we just want to thank you for having us on the show today, and also, this is our first day meeting in person, but we've been on the phone quite a bit talking. I've enjoyed our conversations, and thank you so much for your interest in us and what you see in us, and it means a lot to us. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
No, it's certainly family oriented, certainly very much a family man here, and I think it's fantastic. I think y'all can shoot for the moon, maybe in 28, y'all can go with them up to the moon. Maybe hit another shot like Neil did.
Hit bomb drives. Yeah,
there we go.
There.
Anyway,
one small
we want to golf with Dad, Faith, Jordan, Jeff Johnson, all from Nashville, Tennessee. Make sure you look them up on the YouTube channel there and check them out. But we appreciate you guys coming in. Chastity, it's been a lot of fun. It's good to be back in the saddle here, and we're excited about that. Next week, my lovely co-host will be back, Judy, my wife, and we're going to be talking, as I've already kind of thrown the bucket out there, about Virginia, but mostly over there in the Chesapeake Bay area, Williamsburg, Jamestown, Yorktown area. There's so much to do over there. It's a lot of fun. Some of the best golf, not just the Golden Horseshoe that I mentioned, but some of the best golf I've ever played up there. So it's fantastic. So we hope everybody has a fantastic week. We will be back next Friday here And we appreciate everybody listening. Make sure you tell everybody about what we're doing. Don't forget to check out the Georgia State Parks Golf Cup. It's going on all spring, so check them out there on their GeorgiaStateParks.org website and go from there. Chastity, again, thank you very much for all your help.
Thank you, Doug.
You are listening to the Marc McMain Show, Sweet Tea Travels, and we'll see you next week.